excellent New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy holiday season, wherever you are, whatever you celebrate. Celebra.
In this video,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to tell you everything going on in the David case. They ain't covering it, y'all.
They're not covering it, but we are.
We are. And we're going to share our hot takes.
Hot takes.
Discuss why this is a problem for all women of color.
It's your problem, too.
We got to summarize the story. You could tell us what happened. Who is D4VD, a.k.a. David?
D4VD is a singer-songwriter who rose to fame by making YouTube videos, or like his, what gamers do. They make the clips of their best gaming moments. And he really popular because when he made his clips, he started making his own songs. And the internet took to his songs like a fish to water, okay? They took to the songs. And that's how he became famous. That's how he got blown up. You know what I mean? Fortnite making his own songs is how he rose to fame.
Okay. So Fortnite making his own songs. And a lot of these songs kind of had a common theme.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the songs were super violent.
Mm-hmm.
They were, one of his most popular songs called Romantic Homicide.
Homicide, as in a murdering.
So.
Unaliving.
So now, who is Celeste Rivas Hernandez?
Celeste Rivas Hernandez is the young girl, the 14-year-old, who was found unalive in David's frunk Tesla.
And if you don't know what a frunk of a Tesla is, it's like the front of the car that usually has the engine. For a Tesla, they don't have that, so it's just another trunk. But in the frunk, that is where Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found.
Was funny. Yeah, no, it's honestly probably the most insane story going on in music right now. The lack of media coverage is honestly astounding because it really is an exceedingly crazy story.
It got to us off grid, which is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to talk about the facts? What do we know about this case before we get into what Black women think about it?
Yeah. So the facts of the case are as follows. Celeste, as we said, oh no. Celeste, as we said, was found in the frunk of said Tesla. Oh, sorry. Did I knock yours off?
It's still here.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, yeah. So Celeste was found in D4VD's trunk. Like she said, if you don't know what a frunk is, it's basically in a Tesla, the trunk is in the front where the engine is, and it's an open space. That's where her body was found. Extremely decomposed, right?
And that was on September 8th, 2025 is when her body was found.
I believe a day after what was supposed to be her 15th birthday.
Which never came. Which the news did not report correctly. A lot of people reported that she was 15. No, she was 14.
14 years old.
So the next fact is that Celeste's family and friends and teachers say that she was in a relationship with D4VD, a.k.a. David. Her mom, her brother, her ex-boyfriends from high school, remember, this is a child, reported that she was in a relationship with a man called David.
Also, her teacher was literally using her as like a PSA to other students about not getting, before any of this even came out, about the inappropriate dating and not encouraging them to date their age and not grown people who are wandering onto the campus, which I don't understand why that's happening, but we will get to that later.
We will get to it. So also we touched on earlier, David makes songs with homicidal themes. Romantic Homicide is one of them, but in other songs, in his music videos, not that you need to go check them out, but if you do, you will see horrifying images.
Horrifying.
That are very dark and disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and the images were specifically graphic, violent, and visual aids and images to accompany his music.
Extremely graphic and violent images and imagery.
So yeah, so we got more facts. We got 4 more facts coming. So next, D4VD had a funeral themed world tour, like literal caskets pulled onto stage. Google it, you will find them. Go ahead and like the live as you come in. Welcome. We talking about D4VD.
Talking about D4VD and him using his live world tour to be reminiscent of a funeral, mysterious death, grieving death.
Exactly. So also in his music videos, D4VD had video models that all looked similar to Celeste. So you can look at her photo, look at the video models. They all had similar features to Celeste.
So the other facts, or another fact, D4VD and Celeste started talking potentially when they were 11 years old. Celeste is 14 years old, though. She died at 14. And David is 20.
20 years old. 20 years old.
David is the big 2-0. So he is what is known as a grown man.
Very grown. In a live stream of David that has now been deleted, the co-host, who looked familiar to Celeste, we don't know if it was Celeste or just another girl, accused David of R-wording kids by, like, on camera on the live stream. She straight up said, David, why are you R-raping kids?
And he was laughing, and it was like a joke. He was like, oh no, we got to turn off the live. Ha ha ha, we got to delete that. Oh no, we got to delete that. So he didn't even think of it as anything wrong with it. He was happy to joke about it. It was just something that he did, something that was cool, something that was cute. Okay? Something cute and cool, fun for him.
Yep. All he did was just say, we got to delete this. So D4VD has retained Harvey Weinstein's attorney. And if you don't know who Harvey Weinstein is, he was the guy at the center of the hashtag Me Too movement when major actresses were coming out about his behavior. And that's the lawyer.
Sexual exploitations.
Yes, exactly. So that's the next fact.
So the other fact, another wild and crazy fact, strange objects found in D4VD's home, including a burn cage, which is a large apparatus that burns up to 1,600 degrees. He lives in a mansion in Hollywood Hills. He does not do farm or yard work. We have no idea why he felt as though he needed a burn cage. That makes sense. He also, and it's up there, I don't remember if I mentioned that they are illegal in where he lives as well. There's just no reason why somebody would have that. As 2 women who live on an orchard / farm / homestead, we do not have a burn cage that burns up to 1,600 degrees. We don't have that. They also found a chainsaw. These things were left unopened. So they weren't used, appearingly so. But it does simply make you wonder, what were they thinking? What was the plan? Was there a plan? Why do you need a chainsaw if what you do on your day-to-day is make music? I'm not sure.
We don't know. So next, his manager and friends were aware he was in a relationship with underage Celeste. The way they get away with it by saying they thought she was 19, they thought she was 23, but they were aware that he was in a relationship with Celeste. She is seen at his concerts with his family and his managers.
Also, if you see this young girl, she is obviously not a child. She does not look like an adult in any capacity. She's being associated with cartoon characters such as Hello Kitty and a Gap sweatshirt that I feel like every girl had when they were 15.
Mm-hmm.
And at no point did I wear my Gap sweatshirt and people thought I was 21.
Mm-hmm. I had one. Also, another fact is that D4VD's dad works for Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm.
Jeffrey Epstein. That's who he works for. In legal. Not the gardener. He's on the legal team for his estate.
Not the gardener. Insane. So we also know that D4VD, back in his jokey joke manner about murder, homicide, and unaliving, has merch for sale at his concerts. The merch are white blood splattered shirts. This is all, we'll dive deeper into this, but it's all to support his anime alter ego and, these things. But it's really just a blood splattered shirt. It looks like he just got done committing an unaliving.
Mm-hmm.
And all of his fans, that's what you wear to the David concert, as Addie said.
Mm-hmm.
You just get a blood splattered shirt and that's what you put on.
Yep, absolutely. Also, David D4VD is officially a suspect. Officially a suspect named by the LAPD for Celeste Rivas Hernandez unaliving.
We also know David is not contemplating with authorities. Or D4VD. I mean, honestly, if anybody in his fan thing is in the thing, please let us know do you guys call him David or do you guys actually refer to him as D4VD? I need to know. So I've got friends who want to know.
Yeah.
But he's not cooperating with authorities.
Nope.
Meaning he's not answering questions. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's not cooperating with authorities. He is acting like this isn't real. This didn't happen.
Exactly. So if you're just joining, hola. If you're just joining, we're talking about D4VD and Celeste going through the facts. So so we talked about this last one. We got through all the facts, boo.
Okay.
So first, it's like, while this is a really grave, intense topic, we feel happy and joyful that we can use our platform to raise awareness for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't feel like people are covering the story from the woman's perspective, the Black woman's perspective. No. More people need to talk about this.
We need to talk about it. We need to talk about the standards that we need to raise for dating. We need to talk about the protection of young girls that is obviously lacking. And I, too, am just extremely grateful to have a platform where I can share and talk about these topics that are really important, So I'm super grateful for this opportunity. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. So if you feel protected and supported in this conversation, we are a community supported channel. We have links pinned in our live streams and in our bio. That's how you can support us and join our community.
Join our community.
So shall we get into the hot takes?
Let's get into the hot takes.
You pick the first hot take, love.
All right. My first hot take is the videos of romantic homicide, and it all but shows what kind of person he is. There's romantic homicide, and what's the name of the other one with the Trump where he's like, oh my God, it's so crazy. So first of all, let me just give you the deep dive on romantic homicide. We are going to try to link the videos in the description, but in case we forget, it's really easy to find. D4VD romantic homicide. The video is, first of all, the lyrics are, in the back of my mind, I killed you, you died. Okay.
Exact lyrics,
right? So you can only imagine what kind of music video is accompanied by this song, right? In the back of my mind, you died. And I didn't even care. I
Yeah.
didn't even regret it. Can't
Yeah.
believe I said it. Okay. So in the video, he's killing someone. It's insane. And then he has another video, which I personally find far more incriminating. Because in the other video, I can't think of the song name right now, but in the other video, he's got like he's carrying somebody, dragging someone, a boy in the black hoodie, very similar to the one Celeste wears, mind you. He's dragging them off, a boy off, and putting them in the trunk somewhere. Okay,
of a vehicle,
dragging the boy off, putting them somewhere in the trunk of a vehicle, obviously unaliving someone in a very similar fashion to what he is suspected of doing to Celeste.
Exactly. So that it's a crazy video, and it really shows what kind of person he is. Like how did people not know that this guy could potentially be violent after seeing his videos, especially those 2 videos that you mentioned? And we've said in the beginning, these videos use models that look exactly like Celeste. They look exactly like the woman who he is now a suspect for unaliving. So
they know what happened.
Yep.
They know. They just didn't care. They knew what was happening and they didn't care. Because why would they?
Yeah.
It was fun for them. But he was laughing about it. Anybody chuckling casually about our wording on live stream obviously has some odd morals.
Exactly. And this song came out years before her body was found. So it's like, was this premeditated?
It's giving premeditated for sure. For certainly.
So another hot take is it possible that D4VD's team orchestrated all of this just for views and streams? Because what confuses me is the tour being a funeral, and it's like people being interviewed right now by the police, by LAPD, are the tour manager, are his management team. Like all of these people were there while the music videos were being produced. All those people were there planning the tour. And it's like, and now he's the most Googled person of 2025.
Most Googled person of 2025.
His streams, people are discovering his music. People are watching his music. His audience is now global. Like, is this some kind of sick thing they do? Because
to promote their artists.
Yeah, because they have other artists who have been arrested, not necessarily charged, but this is not, he's like the 3rd one of their artists who has some huge public criminal issues.
If I remember correctly, I think he's 3 of 3. They've had 3 artists, and all 3 of them have been publicly accused of heinous crimes. Everyone wasn't charged. We will give them that. Everyone was not charged because obviously they don't mind spending the big bucks on a lawyer. So they weren't charged. But if everybody at your record label is a criminal.
Exactly. It's kind of sus. So let's get a little emotional here. Like, I feel like all the little girls out. David is not in jail right now.
No.
We found out about Celeste's body in September. It is now January of 2026 as we're recording this. This man is still out on the streets.
On the streets, having fun, gaming still, playing Fortnite. Okay? So, I agree with you. I feel like while he's on the street, all little girls are unsafe. What are you saying? A little girl is dead right now.
Yeah, we all know people. We all have little girls in our family. We all got cousins in our family. Like, we all have little girls. And a man like D4VD, who makes music videos about unaliving people and funeral-themed concerts, is out on the streets. Looking for the next victim. Hungry,
if you would. So my emotional thing is, why is it normalized for young men or anybody, for these grown men, because David's a young man, but he's still a grown man, Why is it normalized that preteens are running away, dating men significantly older than them? At this point, we're wondering were the cops in on it, because why was it underreported that Celeste was running away? Why was it not talked about? Were the parents in on it? It's giving where the parents were in on it, because again, why was it not reported? Why was nobody talking about it? Why the parents? I mean, D4VD's parents, he's a mama's boy. It's a known fact. I also mean Celeste's parents. Okay? Were they all in on it? Were they all corroborating together? Because it doesn't actually make sense for this to be what's going on.
It doesn't make sense at all. And that's why it's such a weird story and why it affects us so deeply, because it doesn't feel like justice for Celeste is being served at all.
They've been underreporting this story the entire time, even up until this day and very moment.
Exactly. We have had to search, scour the internet to find any kind of information, any kind of news sources that are reporting on this story.
Yeah.
So
I hope you guys can hear us.
Yeah. Can you let us know if you can hear us?
Nobody there to let us know.
I know.
Keep going. Sure.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
So.
Well, unless you want to take the mics out and see if that makes a difference.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, unexpected joy. So, great.
I don't think you got to read this.
Oh, yeah. No, I unexpectedly, I was kind of just grateful that he didn't get away in his car.
Yeah.
The fact that the Tesla that the body was found in was moved around the neighborhood multiple times, eventually got towed due to unpaid parking tickets. If that did not happen, we potentially would never know what happened to Celeste. She had been reported missing for months. And if the body wasn't found, we would have no idea. So hopefully justice can be served here.
And, we're happy to be able to be a part of bringing justice to Celeste by letting you guys know. Because this is just not okay.
It's not okay. It's not okay. So I guess now we can go deep on our emotional truths about this topic. Because it really affected us. We found out about this case maybe a couple months ago. And I think we stayed up almost all night reading about it, because we were just so baffled that a celebrity of this size, and we didn't know him, but we found out very quickly the world knew him, could just so carelessly have a body in his vehicle and go on world tour.
Be on tour while the body is being discovered, and not cancel the tour upon a confirmation of the discovery of the body. Continue to do, I think it was 2 more performances before the tour was canceled.
Exactly. If they were pressured to cancel the tour. They were happy to keep touring. It probably helping sell more tickets to the concert. They had to be pressured to stop the tour.
And because of this, the manager is also facing charges. We're not 100% sure yet. As you guys know, it's a developing story, but he's absolutely facing intense questioning about why he didn't tell anyone, why he didn't say anything about D4VD dating an underage girl, why he felt that was none of his business.
Exactly. Again, this girl was 14 years old. And before that, 13. We don't know exactly how long they were together.
Allegedly since she was 11, but that's not confirmed right now.
Yes, that's what we have heard from various sources. But this is a 14-year-old girl that was around with one of the biggest youth stars of 2025.
So, I feel like for me, what is emotional is, and it's just so normalized for men to be violent with women, number one. And also, you know, taking any type of like, um, you know, relationship out of it. Why on earth is it trendy for men to be hurting and mutilating women? Why is that even okay to make that kind of video and to, you know what? I definitely feel like I know that something's happening with the mic
Uh-huh.
because it stops when I start this live stream. So I'm just going to turn this off.
Okay.
But why is that normal? Why is that okay? His videos and music were so incredibly graphic and violent. And for it to not have been considered weird and okay, like I feel like if I heard anybody listening to those songs, I'd be like, "What the H are you listening to? Who is this guy?"
He has red flag music for sure.
Red flag written all over him.
Walking red flag. And I feel like, you know, as Black women, when we hear first about a case involving a high profile Black man, it's kind of torn, right? It's like, first it's like, are they just targeting him because he's a Black man? You know, is this a time that we need to be rallying behind the Black community?
Mm-hmm.
But we've so quickly found out with D4VD that he absolutely had all of the public evidence and track record that he needs to be held accountable. And, you know, this is why we talk about this kind of stuff, because we can't just assume someone has the best intentions because they're part of our community. Like, we can't let stories like this get buried or minimized because they're a member of our community.
No, we want Black women and Black young women and really all girls, but we are Black women and that's a large part of what we can influence. We want all young girls, though, to feel safe and protected, because what is emotional about Celeste is that running away from your home means that you didn't feel safe at home. No matter what, you know what I mean? There's so many other things and judgments that we can make about this young girl. You know, I feel like a lot of boomers and people who are ignorant, frankly, like to be like, oh, she was fast, she was asking for it. All of these crazy things that we say to normalize and validate the poor behavior of men, when the truth is that for her to be desiring to be in the home of somebody who she proclaimed on a live stream was R-wording her, meant that felt better and safer than being at the house with her mother, brother, and all of them, which honestly tracks, because where they at?
Where they at? Where they at? This never should have been able to happen. This never should have been able to happen.
And it only could happen because of there being too much space in a couple of different ways. I don't know because I'm not there. I'm not in their family. But there was too much space between Celeste and her family.
Right. It's at 14, you would expect a girl to be way more closed in and sheltered than Celeste was. We understand Los Angeles is different, but there still seems to be no excuse for that kind of.
And if Los Angeles is different, it shouldn't be, because this is the different that we're supposed to be okay and accept as normal, this is a problem.
Exactly. No, we're calling for some greater changes and greater reforms here.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go into some more hot takes?
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
Chat, we don't know where y'all at, but y'all are not here with us today. Mm-hmm.
No. Let us know in the comments why you did not tap
during
in
the
today.
replay. Yeah, is this case too much to be discussing?
Yeah. Are we crossing the line?
Yeah. Okay, so hot takes. I feel like my biggest hot take is, why on earth are there still so many people lying, saying that they didn't know that little girl was a little girl? She's wearing a Gap shirt, and they're talking about and seeing her with Hello Kitty keychains and dolls, and now D4VD, which this is weird. He's into Hello Kitty too.
Weird.
I think that's Pedo 101 right there.
Mm-hmm.
But them acting like she looks like a grown woman in an oversized Gap hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about that girl looks grown.
No.
Stop lying. And if it does go to trial and all the people who are going to be questioned, automatically, if they say that it's because she looked and they thought she was 21, that immediately needs to be discredited.
Yeah.
I've not hung around, and I've got a lot of cousins that are 15 and a little bit younger, and not one of them have I looked at and said, you must be 21.
No.
That is a lie.
It's a lie. And it's also something they do to black women, or black girls specifically, act like they look so much older than they actually are, and that's just not true.
No.
That's just their lens that they look at black girls in. I don't know why black girls are perceived to be more mature or older, but that is just not true.
No.
They're girls. So also, like this, the cover up of it all, because the media, LAPD, LA County Medical Examiner, if you look at the stories, there's conflicting information about what the state of her body was. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, like there's some saying her body was partially frozen, some saying it wasn't. All of these media outlets have been covering up this story. She has been missing for months and nobody asked questions. A whole world war was planned with funeral caskets, graphic and horrifying themes of unaliving. D4VD constantly wearing bloody shirts.
Selling them as merch.
And selling them. And not talking about it. How is this guy still free? We've heard that they may potentially indict him in February, but that's a whole month. Where do we don't even know where he is. Apparently D4VD has not been pictured since September. Like, this is crazy.
At his mama house.
Oh, and then let's not forget his mama house is his house, because as soon as her body was found, he transferred that property that he owned into his mom's name. Well, now, why would he do that if he had no idea what was going on?
And knew or felt like he wasn't going to get in trouble, or the truth would come out, whatever.
So we're just grateful that there are internet sleuths like us that literally single-handedly accelerated the movement and progression of this case, put pressure on the authorities, hashtag justice for Celeste, getting it trending. I'm so grateful for that, because without that, these stories would just go completely under the radar and swept under the rug.
Be buried.
So if you appreciate us covering hot button topics like this, this is a community supported channel, pinned in the links and in our bios. You can see how to support our videos and our content.
So I feel like while we are still on the fence, he hasn't been convicted, charged. He hasn't even been brought up on charges yet. But if he is charged, he needs to be locked, as Jaguar Wright would say, up underneath the jail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, he needs to be up underneath the jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, just consorting with minors alone. And also, this is way worse than Diddy. Like, everyone's talking about what Diddy was doing, but Diddy was dealing with consenting adults. Whereas D4VD is dealing with actual children, 14-year-olds and younger.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why people are talking about Diddy 24/7 and not talking about D4VD 24/7.
Because Diddy wasn't convicted of R-wording. I can't say what he's ever done, but he has not been convicted as of now. And I don't believe there are any real victims besides Cassie claiming that. Not R-wording. Claiming to be what he got charged for, which was trafficking and stuff like that. Pimping, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They were young women and ladies who signed up to be pimped.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or at what they thought was required to date Diddy, but was really just pimping. That has been confirmed. R-wording has not. He was not charged for R-wording anyone.
No. And you know who was allegedly accused? News just broke this morning that potentially D4VD was pimping Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
It's not confirmed,
To his A&R.
but it's a possibility to to his people.
His peeps. So I feel like what we also know is D4VD is to blame, but a crime of this scale takes a whole team of people to pull off. So I personally believe the responsibility of Celeste's unaliving belongs with her parents.
Mm.
It belongs with D4VD. It belongs with his friends and his team, the manager who felt like it wasn't his business and that he didn't need to get involved. That's crazy. He absolutely did need to get involved. It was his business. But mostly both the parents, and I mean D4VD's parents and Celeste's parents, because if your son comes home and says that he's in love with a 14-year-old at 20 years old, as a responsible adult and parent, you should tell him that that is an underage minor. She cannot consent to sexual relations, activity, or behavior legally. This is not up for debate. This is legal. A responsible mother would have told him to leave that child alone.
Mm-hmm.
So you, Mama D4DD, whatever your name is, boy, Mama, you are responsible for that young girl's death too. Mm-hmm. So as you sit in your mansions that D4VD bought and paid for you, know that it costs another mother the life of her child, condoning your son's poor behavior.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with women.
Mm-hmm. It's everybody's responsibility to protect children. Everybody, and literally everybody.
Number one hype man,
hey,
what's up? Thanks for tapping in.
Thanks for tapping in. I'm just at this point tired of seeing women and girls of color shamelessly exploited. And in this case, a whole life was taken, you guys. Like this, she didn't get to see 15, y'all. She was in the front of this man's vehicle. And
melting, decomposing, breaking down.
Because
I feel like we just found out this morning, her body was found in 3 bags, y'all. 3 different bags of this 14-year-old girl. They threw her in the trunk and forgot about her.
Yep.
Went on tour.
Yeah. It is possible that they just forgot because that's how little they valued the life of this young girl of color. And that's why we're talking about it, because it's the only way to create change. We don't even care about the views at this point. We need to get our message out and celebrate
celebrate
the life of Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
And talk about the dangers, because I mean, Celeste obviously learned a lot in her 14 years now. You know what I mean? I think that's evident, right? It needs to be talked about.
It needs to be talked about.
What's the knowledge? What we talking about? Weird, freaky Jasons? Yeah, basically, D4VD could be called a weird, freaky Jason.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's the most accurate way to describe him. Whew. So we're grateful we're in the place that we can be the change that we want to see.
And hold this man accountable. And really these people, because D4VD is, you know, like I said, he's taking the blame for this, and as he should, but he had help. Just like all of them had help. And if it's like, if you do think Diddy is worse, let us know in the comment. But the thing between D4VD, R. Kelly, Diddy, all of these people, is they had a whole team of people validating, consenting, covering for them, pretending to not notice or see. They had a whole team helping them get away with this. Weird, like freaky Jasons give real men a bad name. He's absolutely give a bad name. Yeah. He's absolutely gives, not even just black men, he gives all men a bad name, because I don't know why somebody, the thing about it that perplexes me, I'll be honest, is with a platform like he had, you know, there's not like he couldn't get other girls. And I feel like that's why he had to go after a young girl like that, because he is weird and freaky and demonic, and he has to be with somebody who cannot process his weirdness. He has to be with somebody who intellectually cannot understand that side of him, because a grown woman who can whose frontal lobe is developed can look at that man and say he is a completely and totally unsafe choice. But we're talking about a young child who can easily be distorted. Her image or world perception of him can easily be distorted. I feel like just because he was offering her some type of security, financial security, a home, you know what I mean? Those are huge things, but they're also a part of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, let me take y'all to psychology for a second. So that's how I know that whatever was going on, she felt unsafe at home, because those are the things that he offered to give to her and gave to her so that they could be together, right? And if those things were not things that she wanted or desired, right? If she had a home where she felt safe, if she had a mom or a family who could give her the money that she wanted and needed, you know what I mean? And who knows what that is? I'm sure all kids want parents with more money, but it's a willingness to share. There's all kinds of different things that come into play. But long story short, she wasn't getting what she needed at home, and that's why she was looking for it in the streets and found it in Weird Freaky Demonic Boy.
Crazy. So if you have unreported stories, definitely that you want us to talk about, let us know in the chat for sure. Let us know in the comments. We're not afraid to talk about it. We're not afraid to go there.
No.
We're not afraid to call people out. We're not afraid to hold them accountable. You heard it here first.
And we're not saying Diddy is perfect. He's in jail or prison, actually. He's in prison for a reason. But what we are saying is Diddy don't have any proved dead bodies on him. I know that he's a suspect. Right. For very high profile cases, including his wife, Tupac Shakur, Biggie, all of them. We do know that he's a suspect, but we don't have any confirmation of that. And until we have confirmation, we cannot label him as a murderer. We don't have any of those people that we just named that turned up dead in his trunk either.
No.
We don't have that on him.
No.
Okay.
It's all speculation.
It's all speculation. And with valid evidence, but it's not been proven in a court of law, right? He's in prison for something completely different. So, yeah, he's a super freaky boy. Honestly, I feel like he just in jail for pimping, really. His pimping got a little too strong for the media, okay? And pimping's illegal, so that's why he's in prison. But like I said, there are no children or minors that are proven involved. I feel like that was a major thing that I was waiting for in the Diddy case, to be like, we need to throw that man away. You know what I mean? And grateful that it didn't come.
Right. Exactly. So that's what we got on D4VD. Definitely let us know your thoughts and opinions in the chat and in the comments. And a reminder that we go live every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, noon, Hawaii time. And this is a community supported channel. You can support us in the pinned comments or in the links in bio on our channels. Follow both of us, subscribe to both of us, hit that notification bell,
so you don't have to miss a minute.
So thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you catch the replay people. We definitely want to hear your POV in the comments. And we love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.